The Clockwork Sparrow and the Girl Who Listened. Once upon a time, in a valley surrounded by rolling emerald hills, there stood a village famous for its clocks. Every house had one. Some were tall grandfather clocks carved with flowers. Others were tiny pocket watches that chimed like silver bells. The villagers believed that as long as the clocks kept ticking, time itself would be kind to them. In the tallest tower lived an old clockmaker named Master Alder. He was known for crafting the most beautiful timepieces in all the valley. Yet among his creations was one he never sold, a small mechanical sparrow made of brass and copper. Its wings were etched with tiny stars, and inside its chest beat a delicate clockwork heart. Master Alder had built the sparrow for his granddaughter, Elia. Elia was a quiet girl who loved to sit on the tower balcony and listen, not just to the ticking of clocks, but to the wind, the grass, and even the silence between sounds. She believed everything had a voice if you were patient enough to hear it. One winter evening, as snow dusted the rooftops, Master Alder called Elia to his workshop. "My dear," he said, placing the clockwork sparrow in her hands, "this bird is special. It does not sing for everyone. It sings only when it hears something the world has forgotten." Elia's eyes widened. "What has the world forgotten, grandfather?" "That," he smiled, "is for you to discover." Not long after, a strange change came over the village. The clocks, once lively and bright, began to tick unevenly. Some chimed at the wrong hour. Others stopped altogether. The villagers grew anxious. "It must be the cold," some said. "It must be worn gears," said others. But Master Alder looked troubled. "Time is not broken," he murmured. "Something else is." That night, Elia held the clockwork sparrow close. For the first time, it fluttered its metal wings and lifted into the air. Its ticking grew louder, like a tiny heartbeat guiding her forward. Without fear, Elia followed the sparrow out of the tower and into the snowy streets. It led her beyond the village gates, across the silent fields, and toward the whispering woods, a forest the villagers rarely visited. The trees there were tall and silvered with frost. The sparrow flew deeper and deeper until they reached a frozen pond. At its center stood a figure made of ice, a tall woman with hair like icicles and eyes like pale winter sky. "I am the keeper of moments," the icy woman said softly. "For years your village measured time, but forgot to cherish it. They rushed their days, counted their hours, and traded laughter for labor. Time has grown weary of being caged in ticking boxes." Elia stepped forward bravely. "But we need time. We need the clocks." "You need moments," the keeper corrected gently. "Moments are not the same as minutes." Elia thought of the time she had sat quietly listening to the wind. Those had felt longer and warmer than any measured hour. "How do we remind them?" she asked. The keeper of moments knelt and touched the frozen pond. Beneath the ice shimmered countless tiny lights, memories of laughter, shared meals, stories told by firelight. "Release these," she said. "Let them remember what time is for." The clockwork sparrow began to glow. Its wings beat faster, and a clear, sweet melody filled the forest, the first song it had ever sung. The ice cracked gently, not with violence, but with warmth. The tiny lights rose into the air like golden fireflies and drifted toward the village. Elia ran back, the sparrow guiding her home. As dawn broke, something magical happened. Instead of chiming loudly, the clocks ticked softly, almost kindly. The villagers awoke feeling different. Bakers paused to share warm bread with neighbors. Children lingered on their way to school, building snow lanterns. Shopkeepers closed early to watch the sunset paint the hills in pink and gold. Master Alder smiled from the tower balcony. "Do you hear it?" he asked Elia. She listened. Beyond the ticking, beyond the bustle, there was laughter. The clockwork sparrow perched on her shoulder and gave one last gentle chirp. Its gears slowed, not because it was broken, but because it was at peace. From that day on, the village still kept its clocks. They still measured hours and marked the seasons, but the people no longer rushed to outrun time. They used it to gather, to rest, to tell stories, and to listen. And whenever someone forgot, a faint echo of a sparrow's song would drift through the valley, reminding them that time is not something to chase, but something to cherish. For in the end, the greatest magic is not in stopping time, but in truly living it.